We're back on the early edge on CBS Sports Network, and it's time to look ahead at some lines. And we start with Thursday night football. Interesting game here. Danny Brasco, I'm going to start with you. We've got the Seahawks visiting the Arizona Cardinals. We certainly heard about Arizona Cardinals' James Conner. He will be out for the year. Seahawks dispatched the New Orleans Saints very, very easily. This is a 1.5 point spread. Cardinals favored here. Brasco, how do you feel about this line, and what do you want to jump on right now?
My first instinct was to lean towards the Seahawks money line as an underdog. Now that they're plus 1.5, I would actually use them in a 6-point teaser to go to 7.5. That feels like a nice way to use them. But this is a little sketchy. It's given me the heebie-jeebies. NFC West clash early in the year where, they're both on a short week here, and the Seahawks are coming off a 40-plus point performance where they dominated an ugly Saints team, and the Cardinals, like you mentioned, just lost a key player, yet the spread is really close. So I think it's going to be a tight contest. I'll lean towards the Seahawks, but I'll watch how injury news plays out through the week.
Mike, I tend to not want to put my money on Kyler Murray week to week, but I do fall into the other camp. I do love the tease idea, by the way, getting it to 7.5. I lean to the home team here. How about you?
I lean Seattle, but I'm going to play them a different way. Just looking at the early team total here. Right now, as we sit, you can still catch 20.5 as a team total, where 21 is a cash ticket. I fully expect this to close at 21.5. A very, very different number. When I look at the Seattle team, though, I've been impressed with them offensively, but I still know that they can be a high variance team. What I mean by that, a quarterback like Sam Darnold is going to have moments where he turns the football over. But if he turns the football over, that's going to put them in a negative game script where they're just going to be even more aggressive. You talk about losing James Conner on the other side, could lead to some shorter fields or better field position early if Arizona has trouble moving the ball. And then, of course, a dome, a controlled environment. Field goals are a lot easier to kick in 2025. I firmly believe this number should be 21.5 at the minimum, but I think they land ultimately 21 to 27 as their final score. Let's go team total over for the Seahawks.
All right, over 20.5. Larry, talk to me. Where are you leaning right now?
Well, I like that look, Mike, and definitely I'm with Seattle or pass. That's 2 straight weeks they've dominated their opponents. They also completely dominated the box score at Pittsburgh. And the thing that's going on with Arizona, their rushing game has just been non-existent, even with Trey Benson looking good in week 1. Yesterday didn't do much. They have a 30% success rate running the ball. They have receivers who can't separate. You have Zay Jones not holding on to the ball when they could have clinched that win over the 49ers. So really limited offensively right now. The defense we know has issues in the back end, but holding up so far. Definitely have to lean with Seattle.
Yeah, I'd put a little of that separation stuff on Kyler Murray. I think he's throwing late on a lot of throws as well. But again, that's a good argument for your Seattle play. Let's talk about a week 4 side that we want to bet. Mike, I start with you.
I like the Chargers. Look, I've talked about liking the Chargers a lot this season. At the Giants, 5.5. Kansas City was 6 in that game. I do make the Chargers power rated higher than Kansas City right now when you talk about the current version of the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, no disrespect to Thornton. I think he's been great, and he's going to be great with Kansas City, or Isaiah Pacheco, who just doesn't really have it. The Chargers do have a run game. They've got excellent receiving options. Look at what Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes was able to do in the passing game yesterday with that receiver group. Now you have to face Lab McConkey, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen. I think that this is one that this should be north of a touchdown still. I know that it puts the Chargers as a very aggressive move forward, but I think they're clearly the 3rd best team in the AFC, and they're not far off, in my opinion, from the Buffalo Bills. I really believe that they should be a second behind the Baltimore Ravens. So I think this team is mispriced still, minus 5.5 on the Chargers.
And Danny Brasco, a lot of people think the Packers are right behind, if not even, with the Philadelphia Eagles. You like them going into week 4?
Yeah, minus 5.5. I think I want to jump on it now before we maybe see 6 or 6.5s pop up, because this Cowboys defense is atrocious. If Deron Bland misses this game, man, their secondary can't stop a nosebleed, and I have to attack that. I think that the Packers are going to bounce back in a major way after losing in a gut-wrenching fashion to this Browns defense that Larry is appropriately giving all the credit in the world. They look fantastic. So after getting bottled up like that, now you play, like Sia called them before, SMU, potentially like a Texas college defense maybe out there. They'll do whatever they want. It's a really good get-right spot. I certainly think the Packers can win by more than a touchdown against the Cowgirls.
I'm getting some social media that was that was an attack on the Cowboys. I thought it was an attack on SMU and Baylor when I said that, not the Cowboys. It was insulting the college team. Larry Hartstein, what line are you looking at for week 4?
I'm looking at overseas, the Vikings early on Sunday morning to beat the Steelers and cover anything less than a field goal. I want to get on it because to me, the Vikings, I mean, the Steelers are pulling off the Mike Tomlin voodoo. You know, they get 5 turnovers yesterday. They give up 30-plus points to a pathetic Jets team and somehow win that game. So here they are 2-1. And I think the Vikings, it was great for them to have Carson Wentz and Jordan Mason running the show. We saw the defense get pretty much healthy, except for Blake Cashman, and pull off big play after big play. So I think the Vikings are clearly the better team on a neutral. I'll take them overseas.
It's pretty crazy when you consider that the backup quarterback and backup running back looked so much better than the starters at those positions. No disrespect to the starters, but that's what it looked like. All right, we got about a minute left. Give me 30 seconds or less on a week 4 side that you're waiting on. Larry Hartstein.
Waiting on the Falcons, I want +3 at home. Michael Penix will be back under center. He cannot be worse, but mainly Jaden Daniels will probably be making his comeback from his knee injury, but his first game back, I don't think he's going to be the same Jaden Daniels, and I think the Falcons, people are going to not want to bet them. I think if you get 3 at home, they'll bounce back and keep it close.
I was on the Falcons -5.5, as you all know, and I'm thoroughly embarrassed by that pick yesterday. Mike McClure, a week 4 side you're waiting on.
I'll be waiting on Kansas City at home against Baltimore. I think the market pushes this to a firm 3 or potentially even worse, depending on what kind of news we get and the result for Baltimore on Monday Night Football. I expect Baltimore to win against the Lions. It's still a difficult stretch of schedule, though. They played a very physical Browns defensive team. Now they played the Lions. Before that, they had the shootout with the Bills. Shorter week, Arrowhead Stadium, Xavier Worthy returning for Kansas City. I don't want to give Patrick Mahomes more than a full field goal, so I would play Kansas City at 3 or better after Baltimore wins tonight on Monday Night Football.
Love that. Danny, go ahead.
Maybe you're going to need some bravery for this one. Maybe I just enjoy pain, but I'm going to go with the Titans +7. I'm waiting to see if I get 7 in the hook. I'm waiting to see if their right guard, Kevin Zeitler, comes back because Cam Ward is the most sacked quarterback in football. And I still don't think they're as bad as they've looked. I mean, it's been pretty ugly. But the Texans, if they lay more than a touchdown to the Texans shouldn't be laying more than a touchdown to me, Sia, Mike, and Larry. So I'm going to have to take that on general principle, but it's a scary one for sure.
Yeah, preseason I had the under on the Titans win total and the Saints win total, both at plus money. Those looking good so far. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want more of this conversation from Danny, Mike, and Larry, and thank you, gentlemen, for all of the insight, go ahead and join the SportsLine Discord. If you're a SportsLine member, you get the SportsLine Discord for free. So make sure you be a part of that experience. We've got 7,000 people in there already, but there's no reason we shouldn't double or triple that. So check that out.